Good evening and thanks for joining us on your Tuesday. I'm Sophie Erber. Education leaders in Iowa, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Utah all facing civil rights investigations tonight from the Department of Education. And it's all for their ban on masks in schools. Our Washington correspondent Rashad Hudson breaks it down in our top story at 5.
The Department of Education says the ban on masks in schools in some states could violate students' civil rights.
We believe that is preventing students from accessing education due to fears of illness.
Education Secretary Miguel Cardona says the mask bans hurt students' learning opportunities.
We're going to do everything we can to protect our students' access to public education, which is a fundamental right.
The Department of Education's investigation will also look at whether states are violating the Americans with Disabilities Act by putting vulnerable children at greater risk.
Look at the data in the places where children are ending up in the hospitals. It's more likely to happen in places where they're not requiring masks.
If the investigation finds these states aren't following federal law, their funding could be in jeopardy. But Republicans like Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville argue that schools should be governed by the states and not the federal government.
For us to make decisions up here in Washington, D.C. for every state in the country makes no sense. That's not what this government's about.
The Department of Education has not opened investigations in other states because the courts are already blocking the enforcement of their mask bans. Reporting in Washington, Rashad Hudson.
A Nebraska legislative committee kicked off its effort to redraw the state's political boundaries. Already there are signs, though, of a urban-rural divide, as some lawmakers question whether or not rural population declines were as severe as the census numbers do show. Data presented to the committee confirms tonight that legislative districts in rural, western, and other parts of Nebraska all lost residents. Suburban Omaha and Lincoln, though, posting big gains. Redistricting work has also begun in the state of South Dakota. Lawmakers have set framework that will allow them to streamline that process. Lawmakers only have about 10 weeks, though, to propose districts before a special session of the legislature convenes. That is set for November the 8th. And South Dakota's Attorney General is in more trouble for his driving. Jason Brownsburg was ticketed for going 57 in a 35-mile-an-hour zone just days before he pled no contest to the traffic charges for a crash that killed a pedestrian last year. The state's top law enforcement officer received that ticket late Sunday, August 22nd, in Hughes County. That's where he lives. He was charged with a second-degree misdemeanor and fined $177. He has not yet paid for the fine or admitted guilt. Iowa farmland prices have steadily increased over the last year, and they've now hit a new milestone as of this week. 80 acres of farmland sold for $22,600 per acre in Grundy County, which is a new state record. Here in Siouxland, sales associated Mark Voss with Keller Williams said COVID-19 discouraged people from selling their farmland, making it very scarce across the Siouxland area.
Supply and demand. There's farmers out there right now that's all they've really ever known is farming, and it seems like whenever something comes available, if they don't buy it now, it's never going to have a chance to buy it in the future.
Low interest rates and higher amounts of exporting have also impacted the land prices. You could tune in tonight at 6 to hear more about how Siouxland is reacting to these record high costs. A Sioux City McDonald's is closed now after a morning grease fire happened there just after 9 a.m. Sioux City Fire Rescue got the call for a fire at the 729 Hamilton Boulevard McDonald's. That fire began in a fryer and was quickly put out by the fire extinguisher and hood system. No injuries reported in the incident. However, the location is set to remain closed until it can be re-cleaned and re-inspected. Also this morning, a residential fire in the Morningside neighborhood just after 8 in the morning. Firefighters found smoke coming from the front window and promptly extinguished those flames. Officials say that all occupants were away from that building when the fire began. The cause of that fire tonight is still under investigation. And it's time now to turn our attention to the weather. Another headline, once again, an active end to the month of August for Chief Meteorologist Scott Larson. Depends on how late or you went to bed or how early you woke up last night. there was some pretty heavy rain moving across Siouxland.
Right, some very heavy rain out there, Sophie. Officially close to 2 inches of precipitation outside the KCAU 9 studio. You can see a band of very heavy precipitation that happened in northeast Nebraska inside of those orange and red splotches on your screen near the intersection of Highway 20 and Highway 81. That is where we had between 6 and 8 inches of rainfall. That triggered some flood warnings overnight. Checking the high temperatures from today, 70s and 80s across the board. Overnight lows in the 50s and 60s. It should be comfortable. And as we go into tomorrow, it looks like we'll have quiet weather, but a chance of seeing some more storms on Thursday. The latest in the 9 on 9 forecast coming up in a few moments. Sophie?
All right, thanks a lot, Scott. Charity was out in full force this weekend for the 9th annual Baldy's Brotherhood Charity Ride. And tonight we have the numbers. A day of motorcycles, music, raffles, and auctions was capped off with a cash donation of every dollar raised there. The grand total, almost $26,000, and all donated to the Merrithew family. Their son Landon was nominated and selected to be this year's beneficiary for the big event. And there's a new side dump truck on the market, and it features some never-before-used innovations. Smithco Side Dump Trailers, a manufacturing company based just outside Lamar's, put on the final test run of their newest mining trailer today. It is the result of a 6-year collaboration between Smith Company and a company in Canada that will help increase efficiency in mining areas with extreme weather conditions. You can hear more about these innovations in our digital exclusive story right now online at SiouxlandProud.com or the KCAU 9 mobile news app. Science news tonight, Moderna is set to begin clinical trials of an HIV vaccine, which uses mRNA technology. That's the same technology that led to the success of their COVID-19 vaccine. Next month, Moderna will begin the HIV vaccine trials in 56 adults ranging in age from 18 to 50. All of whom do not have HIV. The participants will test 2 combinations of the vaccine and be monitored for signs of immune response plus any adverse effects. The trials are expected to end in the spring of 2023. Meanwhile, drug maker Johnson & Johnson also trying to develop an HIV vaccine tonight, but today they did announce it failed to be effective in their mid-stage study. Research in a separate late-stage trial will continue. At least 5 people have now died, as we know, from Hurricane Ida, the second most powerful storm to ever hit the state of Louisiana. That state's governor is warning it could be a month before power is fully restored. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze is on the ground in New Orleans.
Amid the catastrophic damage from Hurricane Ida, an urgent new threat, with more than 1 million customers still without power.
Now is really the most dangerous time over the next week. Couple of weeks, and so we're asking people to be patient. We're asking people to be careful.
Louisiana's governor says more than 20,000 utility workers are trying to restore electricity, but warns it could be up to 30 days before the lights come back on. For residents who weathered the powerful Category 4 storm, that means no running water, air conditioning, or light.
This is the 3rd day without power in New Orleans. This gas station isn't even open, but there are dozens of cars waiting here lined up. They are hoping a fuel truck shows up. They need to get gas in their generators or in their cars so they can charge their phones.
Local officials are urging those who've evacuated not to come back until they're told.
If you're in a safe place with water and power, that's probably the best place for you to be.
More than 5,000 National Guard members are on the ground to help with the search for stranded residents. Heavy machinery clearing the streets. Entire communities cut off, with roads impassable and homes destroyed.
We didn't expect it to be this bad. The rain just kept coming. It wouldn't stop coming. The rain wouldn't stop.
Now, the EPA and the Department of Energy are easing up on some restrictions to bring more fuel to Louisiana and Mississippi. Some of the residents that we've spoken with here are worried about gas shortages, so that could help boost supply. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, New Orleans.
Tonight, President Joe Biden is facing criticism for the evacuation of Afghanistan. What Republican lawmakers are now doing in an effort to bring home the Americans left behind. Coming up in about 10 minutes.
And it's looking like a super start to the month of September tomorrow. We should see some more sunshine, highs around 80 degrees. Chance of some thunderstorms as we head into Thursday, and we'll have a preview of the Labor Day holiday weekend. That's all in the 9 on 9 forecast next.
You're watching KCAU 9 News with Sophie Erber and Chief Meteorologist Scott Larson. This is KCAU 9 News at 5.
and then temperatures descend into the middle and upper 70s going through next week. Last night we had a somewhat scary situation here in Sioux City. A storm was rotating for a brief period of time, and Brian Nelson got his camera out at Ponca State Park. This is the overlook of the Missouri River. You can see that supercell thunderstorm with that rain-free base. There was a bit of rotation within this storm. It was pretty high up, not really focused toward the ground, so thankfully we were able to avoid seeing any tornado touchdowns here around Sioux City or the surrounding area, but again, kind of a scary situation for a moment there. If you have a picture that you want to share, make sure to go to SiouxlandProud.com, find the weather tab, send us your photos.
Yeah, we really did luck out with nothing too severe out of that system.
Yeah, just the hail, that was an issue for some, but again, some heavy rain, and we needed that too.
We did. Thanks a lot, Scott. Well, a nice pair of earbuds can be hard to find, but you don't always have to go with the most popular brand. We're seeing what a not-so-well-known earbud has to offer now, coming up in about 7 minutes. But first, controversy in D.C. tonight as President Joe Biden defends his withdrawal from Afghanistan. Republicans, though, calling for legislative action. What they're proposing in a new bill next. America's longest war is now officially over, but some Republicans tonight are calling on House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to bring the House back into session to address that situation. They want the House to consider possible legislation that would mandate reports on the Americans left behind in the country of Afghanistan. KCAU 9's Anna Warnicki is in D.C. with the very latest.
Even though it isn't in session, nearly 24 Republicans stood on the House floor Tuesday, calling for legislative action to bring all Americans in Afghanistan home.
Basically, demand from the administration that they tell us how many people are left behind, how many Americans have been stranded and abandoned in Afghanistan.
But after that protest failed,
the House stands adjourned.
Texas Republican August Pfluger says it's time for Plan B. Pfluger says Republicans will reintroduce their bill when the House debates the National Defense Authorization Act later this week.
We will be bringing amendments to that process, and we will let the Afghanistan issue really get into the details of this bill.
On Tuesday, President Biden defended his decision to withdraw from Afghanistan.
The extraordinary success of this mission was due to the incredible skill, bravery, and selfless courage of the United States military and our diplomats.
It's not mission complete until we get every one of our people back.
But Texas Republican Roger Williams says the focus right now needs to be helping the roughly 200 Americans still in the country.
We need to know what's happening. We need them to give us reports.
And Texas Republican Michael McCaul vows to hold the administration accountable, with or without the support of Democrats.
To get to the bottom of how did this get so wrong?
In Washington, I'm Anna Warnicki.
News Nation Prime comes your way every night at 7 Central on News Nation. At 6, there's the Donlin Report. Here's a preview.
Tonight on the Donlin Report, U.S. troops out of Afghanistan, but Americans still remain. What the president's message means after 13 troops were killed in action and how the Americans left behind might get out now. Here's Leland Vitter with a preview of On Balance.
Thanks, Joe. America's longest war is now over. Afghanistan's first female Air Force pilot responds to President Biden's speech. What she says he doesn't understand about her country. That's coming up on Balance tonight, followed by News Nation Prime.
And if you'd like, you could see some of the channels listed here for News Nation, or just be sure to check your local guide. If you have an iPhone, you probably want, or maybe you have, AirPods. But if you have an Android, there are a lot more choices. We're focusing on one pair of performance-packed earbuds that stands out from the rest tonight. Coming up next. A new pair of earbuds are among the best choice for Android users. Rich DeMuro explains why in today's TechSmart.
I test out a lot of earbuds, and I haven't liked a pair this much since I first put Apple's original AirPods in my ears back in 2016.
They almost feel like they're magnetized into my ears here.
It's almost the same feeling when I put the new OnePlus Buds Pro in my ears. The $150 earbuds feel comfortable and, most importantly, don't feel like they're going to fall out. They have the features you need, making them a great companion for an Android phone. Pairing is easy. There are various levels of active noise cancellation. Smart when you want the earbuds to decide, faint if you want to hear a little bit of what's happening around you, and extreme if you really want to block out the world. Pinch and hold the stem to switch between modes. To really make these earbuds your own, use the OnePlus Hey Melody app. In it are several tools. One is a test to make sure your earbuds fit right. Another plays various frequencies to help customize audio levels for your specific hearing. Another unique feature is Zen Air Mode. Just press and hold here for 3 seconds, and the earbuds will start to play white noise, so you can focus and relax. Choose from warm sunrise, summer seashore, nighttime camping, and more. OnePlus says you can get over 30 hours of battery life with the included case, which has wireless charging built in, and a manual pairing button, which comes in handy if you need it.
Take a live look outside right now over downtown Sioux City. Don't go away because Scott returns with one more check on your forecast right after this break. Before we wrap up here at 5, let's check in first with Tim for what's coming up at 6. Hi, Tim.
Hey, good afternoon on a Tuesday. Sophie, coming up at 6 tonight, you can call it a bull run on farmland here in Iowa. It's at least one way to look at it. Producers continue to pay record amounts for some of the state's best farmland. We'll take a closer look at what it's being sold for and what's behind the boost coming up. In Nebraska, several areas today dealing with flooding after days of heavy rains there. This is Pierce, Nebraska, where the football field and track almost completely submerged earlier today thanks to that water. Reports of rain in that area anywhere from 4 to 7 inches. We'll have a closer look for you coming up tonight at 6. That's when Jake and I will join the two of you. We'll see you then.
Thanks a lot, Tim. Literally, when it rains, it pours here in Siouxland. We didn't get a gradual rain this season at all. And it looks like, though, things have cleared out, especially we can see here on our live weather cam.
Right, Sophie, we needed the rain, and now we need a chance to dry things back out a little. 60 the overnight low with clear skies. Tomorrow expecting to see mostly sunny weather for the first day of September and a high of 82. Rain does look to return by the time that we get to Thursday afternoon. It could bleed over into Friday. The weekend looks good, though. Highs in the 70s and 80s.
All right, thanks so much, Scott. Thank you for joining us. We'll all see you here tonight at 6. Until then, have a great night.